welcome you back to this Alaska kitchen. This live stream's mainly dedicated to the viewers that have actually sent something, especially postcards. That's the only thing we ask for. Once in a while, we do receive some unexpected gifts. I do have an Amazon wish list attached to the channel, and I do believe some of these things might be coming from that wish list. But I did want to thank everybody that sent something, especially the postcards, and well, actually everything, not just especially the postcards. The postcards are great, and we're asking people to send us postcards from all over the world. You know, we want postcards from all the lower 48 states if possible, and we're also looking for postcards from anywhere else, any other countries, just random. I did talk to well, actually, it was written on a postcard here that we just received that it's kind of hard to find postcards nowadays, apparently. So I'm not sure, you know, how that works, because I haven't went out and looked for postcards myself either. But typically I do see them, especially here in Alaska. They're usually in the grocery stores, just in the random aisles at the sometimes at the checkouts. And yeah, you never know where you might find a postcard. But in the meantime, while I wait for people to start coming in here, I do have this going on here. So this is some of the stuff that has been sent, and this is going to be left as a mystery box. We're going to be doing a unboxing video of that. I don't want to miss a video opportunity there, but right now my children are running amok. So I've been trying to get this weekend's weight loss update video together and all that, and it's just been really hard, you know, with the random kids running back and forth around the house. So I'm just kind of taking a break right now. We're doing a live stream for a little while. Oh, there's one now. They tend to pop up unexpectedly, but I'm pretty sure they're hungry, so I might as well make some burgers while I'm at it. And then we're going to sit down here in a little bit, and we're going to talk about these postcards that showed up. That's the first thing on my list. So I need to get these burgers started in the pan. Come on. Anybody else have a problem with these? Meanwhile, while I try to burn the house down, I need to find, I have a grill lighter here somewhere. I don't know where it went, but it's never close to the stove. Maybe. So maybe I'll try a different burner this time, because it's not working. Okay. It's not very often I cook on this other burner, so mainly because this is where my cat sits over here. I don't want to hurt my cat. That's the wrong burner. There we go. We got that one fired up, so we're going to use a different burner today, which is fine. And we're going to get some of these burgers started, and probably start off with some Wagyu beef tallow. Yep. Now, it doesn't take a lot of tallow to get these going. Now, you can use Wagyu beef tallow, you can use butter, whatever. I like the beef tallow. It adds a little bit of extra fat and some extra flavor to the burgers. And I'll probably put some cheese on it. I don't even know if we have any burger buns for the daughters. I eat burgers just plain. See if I can use one of these to get the tallow coated around the pan before we get started. Then we're going to sit down and look at the postcards, because I get super excited when I go to the post office box and I see postcards in there. Okay. Turn that around in case a cat shows up. We don't want to burn the tail off my cat. Then we just turn it down, and it will just kind of hang out and do its thing for a little while. Okay, let's get on over here and look at the postcards that came in the mail. Because I get, like I said, I get really ridiculously excited about these things. You know, because when I was a kid, my dad and I, we used to love receiving postcards from all over the world. And we'll also talk about this random package that showed up. I mean, isn't this pretty? This is This is a beautiful bag. We can repurpose this bag definitely for maybe Christmas time or something else. But we'll get into that in just a second. Now, this is Dad's box. This is the box that we're trying to fill with as many postcards as possible. And so far, we do have a few in the box already. But as you can see, it's pretty empty. So the challenge is to try to fill this box by the end of the year with a little bit of everything from all over the place. Whew. Let's see. All right, so the first card we're going to look at is from, looks like it says Vermont. Now, Vermont is right next to the state that I grew up in. I grew up in New Hampshire, and it was a pretty lovely place. So I have probably been to or very close to wherever this postcard was taken. The picture on here was taken. Let's see. I'm trying to read what it says here because they like to put stamps right over the words there. Hopefully this one gets to you. LOL. This is my husband's hometown, and it's known as the Green Mountain State. Not as big as Denali Mountains, though. Enjoy your videos, and thank you. Looks like it says thank you, Rebecca. I think so. But like I said, they put a lot of postal type stuff over specific parts of these cards, and I don't know why they put this. I don't think they came with that strip right across it, but that's all right. Hey, thank you, Rebecca. I do appreciate you sending us a postcard, and it's going to go right in the collection. And here's another one, also from Vermont, possibly from the same person, but that's okay. I don't mind getting extra postcards from anybody. Hard to find a postcard these days. This was the one I was talking about. So people are actually having a hard time finding postcards. Isn't that weird? Hey there, Jackson. I appreciate you jumping in there. Yeah, we're just going over some postcards people are sending us to the channel, because that's mainly what we ask for is postcards. People want to send random gifts, like this here. That's totally acceptable. We'll talk about it, and I will be opening that here in just a minute. So if you guys want to stick around for that, but we're just going over what's on these postcards, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that's participating in this. Let's see. This is 20 minutes from my summer camp in Island Pond, Vermont. Let's see, near the Canadian border. Fun to see where you get all these cards from. Keep up the great work with your healthy lifestyle. Roar on. Yes, it's from Rebecca again. Thank you, Rebecca. I do appreciate you very much. My wife gets excited too when she sees these, by the way. So it's kind of like you're doing us a double favor. This one here is from Illinois. I lived in Joplin, Missouri, so when I was a truck driver, so I'd constantly be going through St. Louis on I-44 back and forth. St. Louis was one of the places that we traveled through the most, going east and west. And then we'd go north and south as well. Hello from Monroe Center, Illinois. Population 411. I think our high school here has more than 411 kids. So that's a pretty small population for a town, little tiny town in Illinois. We have 2 bars. 2 bars, 411 people, and you got 2 bars. Okay, 1 gas station, 2 churches, fire station, post office, park, and a railway through the middle. That's always nice when you got trains kind of just cruising on by. You know what I'm talking about. Hey there, Shannon. Appreciate you jumping in. Shannon, have you found a postcard yet? They seem to be hard to find. Yeah, these are the ones we're going over, Shannon. And another viewer says, I loved your videos, love the adventure. And if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Big John here at Big Man, Alaska. I've been losing weight pretty consistently for over the last year. I started at 435. I've dropped down to pretty close to 300 pounds right now. And I continue to go. And I've been doing a whole bunch of different things, from fasting to carnivore. And these are going to go right back in here into the dad box. So this is my little special box that we're collecting all the postcards in. And so far, this is they all fit in one little corner right now. And we want to try to fill this box by the end of the year if possible. And it'll give us something to look at, something for the kids to enjoy. Maybe after dad passes away, who knows? But let's see. A friend of mine and a fellow carnivore as well, Bill Knott, decided to jump in on the fun. He enjoys my cats, We both enjoy cats. We both love cats. I believe he saw my new cat tree, which is behind us here. So my cats have been enjoying this. This is something I found outside, and I believe that's what he sent me in this other box over here, this mystery box. That's the one we're going to be doing a unboxing video on at some point. I might get that started today after I get my weight loss update going, and we're going to talk about my carnivore blood work. I started carnivore back in September 2023, and I get asked a lot of questions. You know, what's your cholesterol like? What's your LDL? What's your HDL? You know, what's all this, that? Have you had any improvements since you started the carnivore diet? And so far, everything's improved. I mean, there's some numbers that are a little weird, but that's going to happen when you're doing anything like that. But yeah, Bill sent some gifts for the cats, and that was that was really thoughtful and really loving. And I thank you, Bill. I'm planning on returning the favor as soon as I can. But he sent some kitty litter, which has already been put to use, like almost immediately. We needed to change the cat box, so we already put the kitty litter to use. Now he sent some of my cat's favorite cat treats, and I'm guessing he found this on the on our Amazon wish list. But this is what our cats love right here, is these Temptations. They go absolutely bonkers. Usually, now my female cat, she used to go outside all the time, and whenever we wanted her to come home, we just go outside with this box and we just shake it. I might get lucky and get one in the room right now. Well, I think I got one coming. So we're gonna open this up and give them a snack. But yes, they really enjoy these, and they come running. Oh, there's one. She's already happy. She's like, dude, you broke these out. You can see I got all my video stuff. I was getting ready to do a video, but I can't. Not right now. I got too many distractions. I'm hungry. My kids are hungry. I might get my other cats involved in this too. I don't know. Oh, here comes the one that really loves them. This is the one I was talking about. That's Molly. She absolutely gets excited over these and comes running from like a mile away. So here you go. That's from Bill. That's from Bill Knott and Willow. He loves you guys. He thinks you're great too. But again, a special thank you. And like I said, there's a brand new cat tree in that box. I'm super excited to open it, but I didn't want to just bust it open right away. And I wanted to actually make an unboxing video about it because this is a product on Amazon. I can kind of, do double duty there and say thank you at the same time while creating some actual content about unboxing stuff. Now, the other gift that showed up, this couldn't have been a better time to send something like this. This is the package I'm looking at here. This thing here. Let alone the fact that somebody put some thought into this right here. And I don't even know how to explain how I feel. I feel so good about this. I feel blessed. And they know that we're going through some stuff. We're just waiting on jobs to start. And this is probably one of the best gifts to send me right at this time. Because there's something I've never talked about before. And I do collect stuff like this. And I have been known to rescue these things over the years. I might go to a pawn shop or when I'm cleaning out a relative's house. If I find something like this is usually something I bring home, and I have several of these. I can never have too many of these. It's all good. Now there's a really nice note here that's attached to the package. Like I said, there was a lot of thought that went into this. I'm not sure if they charge extra for putting these little notes on packages. It says, God will give you the courage to embrace him. Praying for his continued protection for you and your loved ones. You don't have to read this. Sorry, out loud on video. Just a brother in Christ sending his father's word from Luke. Thank you, Luke. Like, really, thank you. We're gonna pop this thing open. Let's get a better angle here, because I want you guys to be able to see what's going on here. And if I turn you like that, maybe, there we go. And if Gray Bear behaves and doesn't knock stuff down, because Gray Bear's right over here off to the side. So we're going to get this opened up. and you guys are going to get to see what's in here. So this is something that I do have attached to one of my affiliate links. I believe this is the same product here, but so there's a nice little envelope that comes inside. Keep your gift a surprise, you know, very nice. The Amazon receipt is in here, and also the same message is on a piece of paper inside. Very thoughtful. I'm gonna put these over here. Now, these are all little keepsakes we're gonna keep. Now the package does come wrapped up in some nice little blue paper. I don't know if the person that sent it knew this, but here's what's inside. And this, yeah. It's kind of hard to speak right now because this is amazing. This is awesome. So if you look in my description section on my channel, you know, I'll have it up here on this, attached to this video afterwards. But I believe this is one of the Bibles, you know, because I don't put a lot of products out there, you know, as far as my affiliate links go. I don't focus on that. Two of the things that I do focus on is there's a his and a hers. There's another pink one for women as well. And the nice thing about this is it's a full-size Bible, and it's also done in bigger font, and it's leather bound. It's got really nice gold leafing around the edge, and I can really get in there and find specific points that I might want to read through. It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. The Beatitudes 3, blessed are the poor in spirit, for there is kingdom in heaven. Let's see, words of Christ are labeled in red. It's got a fox, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, I'm probably butchering that out, fox leather, lay flat binding, thematic scripture verse finder, 1 year Bible reading plan, double column format, gilt edged pages, full color maps, ribbon marker. Ooh, it's got a ribbon marker in there so I can actually mark, you know, what page I'm on. And I seriously need to sit down and take some time and read through this, because I have been neglecting that process of my entire weight loss journey. And if it wasn't for me actually reaching out in prayer when I was 435 pounds, and I asked God, I said, please take me. I said, I'm done with this world. I just want to be over it. And that was the day. That was the day that I didn't. I was literally given a message saying, you know, you're already making YouTube videos. I want you to share your journey. I want you to share the struggles with everybody else. You know, talk about me. Yeah, it's a big deal. Let's see, what else does it have? Thumb indexing tabs, reader friendly, subheadings, cover, and can be personalized, 14-point types. Now, I have collected Bibles, oh goodness, for the last 20 years. I only have a few. I found a really good one at my aunt's house. It's tucked away safe in my personal tote. I have a whole bunch of stuff tucked in there, you know, presents and random stuff from people over the years. But it's a very, very old Bible, and my aunt was very eccentric, so she collected a little bit of everything. And this one little Bible, it's only about this big. It's a tiny Bible, but it's got a wood cover on it, so it makes it really, really pretty. And let's see who else is in there. Hey Donna, thank you for jumping in. Hi there, Shannon. Yeah, like I said, I was trying to make my video today. I got all my stuff out. I got it all set up, mics, everything, lights, and I just got distracted. So I'm going to have to wait on that. In the meantime, I'm going to cook the kids some burgers. They're going to take a bath. And eventually I'll get around to hopefully getting this weekend's video out and up. And I do have an unboxing video of an Amazon product that Bill Knott sent to me. So I thank him for that. And I also thank him for the extra opportunity to show off a product, because I really, really enjoy unboxings and showing off products. I mean, especially if I enjoy it, or if it's something that actually works for me, you know, like the Life Pro vibration plate. I need to figure out how to open this. I don't want to damage it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So much thought. Like I said, this is like the perfect gift. I mean, who doesn't need a Bible? I mean, except for those people that really don't believe in Jesus Christ. And I feel sorry for them and I pray for them. So we're taking off the packaging here. We're going to slide this out. Come on, you. How do I get you out? Now, like everything that comes in the mail to Alaska, it gets a little dinged up. And this has got a couple corners. There we go. Oh, I got it. Look at that. There we go. Come off of there. We're going to tuck you back in the bag. We're going to keep everything somewhat together and hopefully keep that off to the side. But yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that leather on there. That is gorgeous. And it makes me wonder how long these things sit on the shelf. Oh, cool. Super cool, guys. Look at this. This is something that comes on the inside. That's nice. So it's got a little bitty bookmarker in it. It's got some words on the back here too. Interesting. 5 questions to ask when you read the Bible. Is there a sin to forsake? Is there a promise to claim? Is there an example to follow? Is there a command to obey? Is there truth to believe? For the word of God is alive, powerful. Hebrews 4:12. Very nice. And they also give a website down here at the bottom. And that website is www.bibles.net. Yeah, super cool. And then there's their emblem up here at the top, bibles.net. Super cool. And it has a page in here where I can write on it to personalize it. You know, what date I received it. And like I said, I collect these things. So like if I'm going through somebody's old stuff, you know, somebody that might have already passed away, you can learn a lot about a family member just by getting a hold of their Bible and actually reading through it. So don't throw these things away. You know, if anything, gift it to somebody else. And it is, wow, this is really large text too. So I can read this pretty easily without a whole lot of problem. Now I do have reading glasses. They're what are they called? Progressive lenses. So it's like you can see far away through the top side, and then the bottom side, it's almost like a bifocal, but it makes them really hard to drive with. So I rarely wear them. And it makes them hard to watch TV as well. So I have to have my glasses like way down here on my nose in order to watch TV with those progressive lenses. But it says there's some really cool stuff in here. Ooh, okay. So one thing it did say is that the translated words of Jesus, they're all in red. So that gives you a little context as to who's actually, you know, saying what phrase at that time. Super cool. And there's supposed to be some colored maps in here. Oh, here we are on the very back. So we also have colored maps, you know, of holy journeys and stuff like that going on in there. Super cool. Thank you. And it said there was a ribbon in here too. Oh, there it is. I found it. We're going to check that out. So this ribbon is right here. Right here. Let's see how that works. If I can pull it out. There we go. So, okay, there is a ribbon in here. So when you find a page, you can just take the ribbon and lay it over. And then you can just tuck it in. Fold the pages over like this and just tuck it in. That way when you close up, everything it's kind of trapped in there. That way you don't lose your place. It's so frustrating when you're trying to find something specific in any book or Bible and you just can't find your place. But again, thank you, Luke. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. That is amazing. Yeah, it is. And yeah, it is. I believe it's incredibly affordable too. And that's why I put an affiliate link to it, because I believe everybody that believes in God should have a really decent Bible to look at. Also an easy to read Bible, easy to understand, because some of these Bibles, like the old versions, were incredibly hard to read. And, you know, in today's day and age where, you know, our poor kids, they don't even know how to read cursive. It just makes it frustrating. So I'm just happy. I'm just happy to have that. We're going to start reading out of that. We can start reading to the children out of that as well. I have Putty Cat. Absolutely. I have. Now we need to. I don't know if you guys noticed, but yeah, I did a lot of work in here. And I made a mess right there on the corner with a little bit of a hamburger seepage. But so I took about an hour cleaning up the kitchen this morning because, we're just scrambling. I tried to put some of this tin foil down to hopefully catch that mess because I can't get that junk off. And I'm just trying not to make it any worse than what it is. And so far, those look good, although they do need a flip. So I need to get everything out and ready to hopefully flip them over without making a big giant mess. I like to have a plate handy. Get my spatula out. And these are just cooking down in their own juices and a little bit of extra beef tallow. And when they're cooking from frozen, this so far has been the easiest way, to cook straight out of the freezer when you have already made burger patties made up. So we're just going to let them do their thing for a little bit longer. Now I can start doing a little seasoning right now. And this is just Redmond's. It's almost like a seasoned salt. So freaking good. So amazing. You guys don't know what you're missing if you don't have Redmond's products out there. They're amazing. Okay, that's just going to chill out. We need to get the meat thermometer. Now, I did have a meat thermometer company reach out to me. They sent me an email. They haven't responded back, but they said they wanted to partner up because I do this a lot. I mean, I do cook on live streams a lot, and I do a lot of meats and stuff like that. And they did want to reach out and say they wanted me to either review their product, share their product. And if it's something that I test out and I like, because I warn everybody, it's like, hey, you send me something, I'm going to do an honest review. If I like it, I'm going to tell people. If I think it's freaking amazing, like the Life Pro vibration plate, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell people I use it. I'm going to make a video specifically about it. And it's just kind of what I do. I just do it from my own honest opinion because I don't want to sell my soul to the devil. Hey, here, I don't want to sell my soul to the devil when it comes to, just trying to make money. And that's not what I'm about. I'm about letting people know how I honestly lose weight, my honest struggles, because everybody struggles when they lose weight. We've all been doing it, especially if you're up to my age, which I'm 50 years old. I've lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight. I finally figured out how to maintain weight loss, which is, thank you. And that is big help from this guy up here. I mean, if I didn't really pay attention to what was going on in there, if I didn't really focus on the hard times and pray about it, I don't think I'd be this far along right now. I don't think my family would be this far along right now. And he does like to knock you down. He likes to make you humble at times. So, and right now, it's just time to be humbled. It's just time to figure stuff out. What are you doing? Oh, yeah? You're going to talk to everybody? Ooh, this is the one that digs into me. Oh, no. Come here. Say hi. She's not having it. Her treats are on the table, so she's like, I don't want to. Well, this one will sit on the floor and like speak to my wife, Mylene. She'll just sit there and say mom over and over again. Cry to go outside. One of those cats. Let's see. Get the Hebrew version and translate it. Yeah, that's a hard one. That's not an easy thing to do. Is the translation. And the reason I have this one attached to an affiliate link is it's pretty easy to read. It's pretty easy to understand. There's a lot of benefits, to this version right here, in my opinion. And that's why I have an affiliate link for this particular Bible right here. Because when you look over here, it gives you these nice easy tabs, and they got some writing on there, so you can, kind of figure out, you got Matt, Mark, and Luke in this one tab here, and so on and so forth. So if you're looking for a specific, because a lot of times when I talk to other people, and I do have a spiritual advisor I talk to, she lives out in Wasilla, and I've been, talking to her for several years, about scripture, about praying, about all kinds of stuff, and about what's going on in, like in Palestine, Jerusalem, and everything that goes on overseas as well. We talk about that too, back and forth. And we pray together, over the phone. But she's the lady that married me and my wife, thankfully. Cats are always on a mission. Yeah, this one is, and she escaped the other day. Thankfully, she's the one that I'm not afraid that she's going to run off completely. But she'll go around the house and she'll try to head off the mice if there's any outside on the ground. And then I'm not sure if she's hunting them outside or if she's trying to scare them under the trailer home so they come up in the trailer that way. And she's pretty smart. So that might be something she's doing, because usually after she gets out, the mice tend to come in the house, and then all of a sudden we find little presents. You know how cats like to kill a bird or, kill a mouse and then leave them for you. In the last couple of days, we found 2 of them. One was, by the bedside, and the other one was laid out in a different spot below the bed. But yeah, they like to leave us little gifts once in a while. Do you take meds for cholesterol or high blood pressure? Absolutely no. I do not. I don't need meds. Who got the improvement award? That is on your fridge. Pretty sure one of my daughters got that one. Let's see, which one is that? Yeah, that's one of my daughters. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the fridge there. Yeah, it's pretty cluttered up. You know how moms are. They got to put their children's stuff up everywhere. We got even more over here on the door. The whole front door is just covered in kids' stuff. We got our children's keepsakes, from when they were younger, their little artwork and stuff from around the room. Then we got the photo. One of the few photos I have of me in basic training, and I'm actually the big guy in the middle, holding up the little dude. But yeah, it is what it is. I need to go pay attention to these burgers because I don't want to burn them. I think they're getting pretty close. Oh, they smell so good. We're going to give them another flip. Come on, turn. There we go. Don't get seasick. I'm moving you about. We're going to give them one flip. And then we're going to season them again. And then we're going to take a temperature. See what's up with them. See how close they are. Because if you don't, then you're going to cook out all the good stuff. You don't want to cook out all the fats. You don't want to press the dang burgers and injure them. They feel kind of soft, so I don't think they're ready yet. But yeah, this was a super inexpensive thermometer that I got at Walmart. I believe it was like only $12. And they had a couple different versions. They had another one that had a whole bunch of probes on it. But when you... Oh, that's good. Shut you off. All right, I think these ones cooked maybe a little too fast. That's okay. Yep, temperature's way up there. It's okay. I can make that work. Now what I do is I shut the heat off because they can just chill out there because I'm going to need to put some cheese on there. And one of my daughters doesn't really want cheese. So I need to find my wife real quick. Figure out what I need to do. She's around here in the house somewhere. She was building a video just a minute ago. Oh, it's okay. That was my cat Molly. Go find her. Let's see. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, let's see if I can get it flipped around. Oh, hey, this is my wife. She's over here. She's doing what YouTubers do. She's building her video. But I'm making burgers for the kids.
Okay.
Do you want one or?
Yes, please.
Okay. What kind of cheese? Jalapeno stuff?
Yeah, pepper jack.
Okay. What do you want me to put on? Because I got some Havarti left.
Well, we wouldn't for theirs. Are you asking what?
Well, I know Danielle's gonna want some.
I don't know what you're asking me now.
what I should put on the other burgers. Nana doesn't.
Oh,
Nana doesn't
yeah.
want cheese.
I thought I got more of the Colby Jack cheese.
Yeah. Let me go ask them.
Okay.
Okay, let me go ask my kids what they want. Hey, girls, where are you? Oh, hi. Hey, do you girls, what do you want for cheese on yours? You want Havarti, which is the white cheese, or do you want Colby Jack, which is kind of orange?
The orange one.
You like the orange? You just like the color, huh? It makes you feel better. Okay. Oh, hi, kitty. Oh, look what I found. And it's purring. Always happy to be held and played with. All right, you're clawing my shirt. One of my few kind of nice shirts that I have. Okay, now we know what cheese to put on. We're gonna go get that put on real quick. I got too much stuff in this little home.
I know.
We need to like start moving some stuff out,
I'm working on it.
giving it away, donating. We need this. We donate a lot of stuff because it's really easy to acquire things when you live in a city. So, okay. Oh, I see a bunch of hearts popping up there. Yeah, that's my wife. She's a whole lot of fun. There's a lot of tension in the home right now because my wife does Instacart and I do truck driving. So there's not a lot going on the truck driving side of things. So I've been applying for jobs and so far not having a whole ton of luck, but it's okay. Things will turn around. And I did find out that my son that lives in Missouri, I think he figured out how to get a plane ticket and get himself up here. And even though we're not really financially set, I'm okay with that. I really want him here. I didn't want him to leave in the first place because he came up to visit a while back, and then he wound up going back south to go help his mom out, which is a noble thing. And I find, that's good of him. All right, getting some other cheese out. Havarti cheese. I like Havarti cheese. Yes, I'm gonna cheese it up today. I'm okay. It's not gonna hurt anything because so far I haven't really done any damage adding extra cheese. And I need to get this one out. All right. Figure out how to get this open real quick. And this right here is California Select Farms Colby Jack cheese. This is pretty good stuff. I try to stay away from the colored cheese because I don't know if that's like a natural color. I don't know. So I just try to, pretty much focus on the white cheeses when I'm on the carnivore diet. It just seems to work well for me. I don't know if there's any theory behind it that it's any better or not. So that's all up in the air. All right, come out of there. Now the packaging they send this stuff in is it's kind of crappy. So I kind of want to have there we go. And the reason I like this type of cheese is because it's not that individually sliced crap. Yeah, it's pretty much crap. The stuff that the Kraft singles or anything like that, it's separated by paper. It's far better product, in my opinion, to buy your cheese like this. But you always want to tuck it away in a Ziploc bag after you're done. Okay. And the nice thing about cheese is it doesn't really screw up when you put it in a bag with other cheese. Just take all the air out and put it back in the fridge. Throw the excess away. There we go. All right. Now, since there's plenty of heat in that pan, you just put the cover on and it will melt really fast. So in a few minutes, we'll have some burgers going on. I can eat for the day. And let's see what else. If I can find some buns for my kids. I only see, oh, maybe. That's a hot dog bun. No. So my wife's going to want one of these onion buns. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask her if she even wants a bun. Sometimes she doesn't. She likes to do what I do. But I know my kids want a bun. Oh, here we go. Oh, who keeps... Okay. I got like tortillas up here and they're in the way. And they're kind of heavy. So the other day, I think my wife made something with tortillas. I can't remember what it was. Ah. So what I got going on in here is this, hit the wrong button. That's what I got going on. So I got this container for the bread. And up here in Alaska, for some reason, if I put a bread in a container like this, it's just a tote. It's got some handles on each side. But for one thing, a plastic container like this keeps any potential rodents out of it. And that's a problem, especially when you live in an old 1975 trailer home like I do. Okay, we got the buns out. My kids are gonna have some burgers with me. And we're gonna be eating real soon. All right, I need to find, what are the kids gonna want on their burgers? Let's see. I don't see any ketchup. They're not gonna be happy about that. Huh. I should probably make more burgers. What a pain. Yeah, we are out of ketchup for them. And we've been buying that, excuse me, we've been buying that organic type ketchup at Fred Meyer's or Carr, Safeway, or, you know, if they have it at Costco, we buy it there too. But yeah, I don't see any up here. So they're out of luck there. But I do think, I don't know why my son bought these things. So this is something my son got. He got these just the other day. They're seaweed snacks. And they're literally just paper. We had this conversation last night. They're paper and salt. Super thin. He says they're delicious. I don't worry about that. I don't judge him for what he wants to do. I saw some ketchup in here somewhere. It's probably in this bag. I don't know. We'll just bring the bag out. It's got random sauces and stuff like that in it. So maybe they'll be happy with that. Meantime, I need to move this off the table because I don't want my brand new Bible to get messed up. Put it over by my computer desk. See how that works out. Dun, dun, dun. What are you doing?
I'm gonna export as soon as I have enough room on my computer. Yeah, I'm having to move some stuff that I should have already moved onto my hard drive, but I haven't yet.
Moving on to your hard drive stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the pain of that. That's the pain when you're dealing with trying to make videos, is you have to export everything and import. You spend most of your time just sitting there twiddling your thumbs and then trying to work on other projects, you know, while you're doing that. And of course, all the heat made all the cheese melt. So that's done. We'll get some plates out for the girls. Get them set up. So I only get one burger. That's the problem when you're trying to do the carnivore diet and you got family that likes burgers as much as you do. So every time you make something, because I can eat 3 of these, no problem. So every time you make something, you got to make more for yourself. And it's just part of it. Not a big deal. But yeah, when this is all cooled off, the dog gets all the juice. That over there, that one's mine. Get this one out for the wife. That way she can have some yummy burger too. And everybody can start eating soon.
Guess what, dear?
Hey, guess what?
Neither one of them wants a burger.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. No, I'm...
Okay. Well,
so you get more than one.
that's nice. Well, I get more than one. That means I get to do more dishes now. So this one was yours.
Thank you.
There you go. And I will eat these other 2. No problem.
I was going to say...
What?
Okay.
Do you want one?
I was going to say, I might want the second, but I might be good after the first.
Well, there's one.
I never know
there.
until I'm finished with the first.
Yeah, I can easily eat all 3. And that will keep me happy. And I won't need a whole lot of fussing. Oh. She must have put her hair in ponytails last night because it's all wavy.
Pigtails.
Pigtails.
I mean, sorry, the French braids.
Okay, this stuff. Yum. Okay, that's all I need right there. Shut that.
Go ahead.
You need it?
I will, but it's okay.
Okay. Now I gotta go over here. I gotta find a fork. Ta-da. Forkner. Now I can sit down and try to recollect my thoughts. Because, yeah. I do have an application for a trucking company I do need to fill out at some point today, on top of everything else that I was planning on getting done today. And none of that stuff allows me to get outside and do anything. You know, I think being active while working, it's going to make a big difference in my weight loss. So as soon as work starts up, even if it's just sitting in a truck driving around, I think I'm going to start dropping the weight like fast. But something that has happened is I think at the last 3 nights I have not had to use my CPAP machine. And I slept pretty good. Last night I had a few issues, but it was usually because I'm just used to laying on my back. What's this look? I see you're looking over my shoulder.
3 nights you haven't used it?
Yeah, 3 nights.
I wouldn't have even known if you didn't say anything. So yeah, you're doing better.
But she's my witness in telling me that I'm not snoring, because I ask her when I get up in the morning, did I snore last night? Did I have any problems? Now, another thing that indicates that I have problems when I'm sleeping is my cats. So if you're having sleep apnea and you have cats and they come up and they dig a little claw in you, that's an indication that I might need to wake up and put my CPAP machine on. So it's next to the bed. It's there. I can use it. It's just I don't need it anymore, according to the doctor and according to the numbers that are provided for me on my CPAP device. So yeah, that's a total win. Now, major, update as far as my health's going, because I want to be able to do stuff without carrying that freaking machine everywhere I go, or worrying about how I'm going to power it if I want to go camping. So now I can actually maybe go visit at my sister-in-law's house and do a sleepover without dragging the freaking cord behind me and the hose, because those kids over there, they don't know what that is. I mean, unless they've actually looked at it in my room and asked about it, and they still really don't know much about it. So it's just something sitting on the bed. And I remember when I first got my CPAP, my poor wife, I mean, it was, because when you put that on your face, it just looks scary. You know, if you don't know what it is and stuff like that. It was because at that time, my sleep apnea was so bad. It was literally the only thing helping me breathe and stay alive. Barbecue when you're cooking, the sirloin tips from Costco are actually really good. Yeah, I would love to have those. That give the dog. No, that doesn't affect my dog like that. The one thing that gives my dogs the runs is when she decides to go down to the neighbor's house and get in their garbage, then she's having some issues. She's a trash dog.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, I'm hungry too.
So I put pepper jack cheese on this one, but I'm not going to put anything on it just in case I end up not wanting to eat it. So you can still have it.
I put pepper jack and I mixed them up. Enough variety on this one.
Okay.
But since we're a little bit financially strapped for the remainder of time, for probably at least the next 2 weeks, I am planning on doing an egg fast for the next week. For one, eggs are inexpensive. I can get a whole bunch of eggs, and I am still fasting to lose weight. So the eggs, I tend to hard boil them and eat those. I might pickle them, put some more in the pickle juice, and eat those throughout the week. But the eggs fast, when you're doing an egg fast, it mimics the effects of actual fasting. So I'll get in ketosis. I'll stay there. As long as I just eat eggs and sardines, those are my 2 main foods that I eat when I'm fasting, is eggs and sardines. For one, the sardines are just packed full of nutrition, just like a multivitamin, along with the eggs too. It's almost like taking a multivitamin. I don't recommend it for everybody because not everybody can eat eggs. but it works. It works. You can lose weight dramatically fast. And yeah, right now at where I'm at, if I do it correctly, it should get me down below 300 pounds by next weekend. So that'll be a big deal too. Mm. Let's see. Then the neighbors get ticked too. Yeah, well, they kind of expect it because the way they leave their trash outside their house, all the animals, even their own cat, gets into their garbage and makes a mess of it. So it's pretty common for them to come outside to everything strewn all over the place. But if you want to get shot as a dog, start digging in somebody's trash. That's how most of the dogs get dispatched around here. If they get in people's trash, somebody picks them up and then they drive them all the way across town and dump them off over there. You might never see your dog again. So when I lived down in Missouri, I had a dog that used to, because down in Missouri it gets really, really hot, so you leave your doors wide open if you don't have an air conditioner. And I used to have the dang neighbor's pit bull was constantly running in my house, and I was like, they didn't train the dog, they didn't do nothing with it. What a pain in the butt. Eventually the dog went away on its own. Hey there, kid. My wife already does DoorDash. And the thing that got us accidentally backed up, even more so on finances than we already were, is the transmission on our Jeep went out. I just fixed the flat tire on it yesterday. And since I lost all the weight, it made that super enjoyable. It was like fun. I was like, wow, I could actually just bend over and pop the lug nuts off, pull the tire off, jack it up, no problem. I wasn't winded. It was exerting some energy, so that was fun. And the whole process went pretty easy. I put a plug in it, put some air in the tire, aired up one of the kids' balls. Overall, that was great. And that's the one thing I've been finding when doing the carnivore diet, is that I have so much more energy, and stuff that usually made me out of breath before, even when I was a lighter weight than I am now. Doing something like changing a tire, I would have been exhausted, sore, grumpy. None of that. That doesn't bother me anymore, not like it used to. I don't know why people treat animals like that. But if you're a dog living in a village here in Alaska and you get into people's trash, they know what to do with them.
That's what was going to happen to her.
Yeah.
She was she came from a village called Elam. Yeah, our dog came from a little tiny village called Elam. I was living in Nome at the time, and I had just posted on the internet for the Nome locals asking if anyone knew of any puppies. I wanted to get a dog for my son because he was 3 at the time, and he still wasn't sure how to feel about dogs, and I didn't want him growing up scared of them. So I posted on the internet asking the Nome locals if they knew of any puppies. A lady told me about a dog that she had rescued from Elam and brought it back to Nome because she was going to be shot. She was a stray in Elam, and the village was done with her. They were tired. But luckily, this nice lady was in Elam at the time, and she wasn't going to have none of that. She was like, nope, you ain't shooting that dog. I'm not keeping it, but I'm bringing it back to Nome, and I'll find it a good life. And so she's been with me almost ever since.
She's been a good dog mom. She's really good at training them too. This woman over here. My dog, if I had a dog, yeah, that dog would piss off over there somewhere and I'd never find it again. That's why I have cats. Cats don't do that. If they run off, they run off, but I'm in the city, so could be one half dozen in the other if they run off. And we've lost a couple cats now to the city, which is very sad. Heathen was one of my favorites. He was a Russian blue cat. And at that time, our neighbors had a Russian blue cat too, and they looked almost identical. So every time after my cat went missing, every time I saw that cat pop up in the window, I was just looking over there like, is that my cat? Yeah, of course it wasn't. Do you have AC there, or do you? We don't really need air conditioning here. Now, a few years ago, it got really, really hot. And, you got to remember, summer's really not that long up here. Like the heat of summer, like the really, really hot summer, only lasts for about 30 days. It's not like anywhere else I've lived where it just stays hot for like a month, 2 months, 3 months. So we're looking at like really hot weather, maybe for a solid week, and then it'll cool off. It'll give us a break. But that one summer, we had about a month of really, really excruciating hot weather. Every single portable air conditioner you could find was sold out. They couldn't get them. You couldn't even go to a store and find a box fan, you know, like cheap welfare like box fans that you can get at the dollar store. So I think everybody got stocked up on fans and air conditioners after that year, but since then it hasn't been so bad. Normally we get a slight breeze that comes through in one direction or the other. We can just crack a door, crack a window, and just turn on a fan, and it'll push all the hot air out, and it'll be kind of chilly in here, just like we have air conditioning. So even on the hottest days, we've already been doing that. Like this last week. Ooh, she gave me some more.
Thank you.
Mine.
Yum. That was yummy.
Good. I'm glad. You're happy?
Yeah, it was my first time eating today, and it was perfect.
What is it with women, and why do they get so hangry all the time? I mean, when she gets grumpy, all I gotta do is feed her. Like, you feed her food, and she just, oh, hi, big man. Yep. Let's see. I made burgers today, and we did a special thank you video in the beginning there because we got some products from Carnivore Bill Knott out in Willow. He really likes the cats, and he was helping us out with the cats, and he bought a real nice cat tree. We're going to do an unboxing video about the cat tree because it's an Amazon product. Might as well show it off. I mean, it's the best way to show it off is make a video about it than just randomly rip it out of the box and put it up. I mean, yeah, there's a process and an experience of taking it out of the box, the excitement of putting it together. You know, who knows? Maybe there's some parts missing. I don't know. That's part of the whole process too. Sometimes that happens. Let's see. LOL is so opposite of here. Yeah, Florida, man. It's just so humid there. I really liked it when I was down in Florida. I used to go down to like Key West, deliver groceries. I delivered freight, plywood. A lot of plywood went to Florida, especially after a hurricane. And I used to do dry van and reefer freight. So I'd have a whole truckload of just plywood, 2x4s. They would figure out how to stuff it in there. And then it's somebody else's problem to get it off the trailer when I get down there. So I'd usually just drop my trailer, pick up another trailer, and I'd head on out with a load of pharmaceuticals out of Pfizer. But yeah, Florida's incredibly hot. Hey there, Heather. How you doing? Can you use cheese or condiments? I do use condiments. I try to, like this year, I don't use this because it's got high fructose corn syrup. So I just avoid, stuff. If it's got natural sugar, okay. High fructose corn syrup, no. Now this here is one of the condiments I used. Pretty much the majority of Tabasco products are pretty clean. So I can't say I honestly have problems with condiments unless they have like soybean oil, vegetable oil, any of the other hydrogenated oils. That's the only time I have super problems with them, or they contain excess high fructose corn syrup. Baby Ray's, for instance, I think like the first ingredient on here. Yeah, so it's got 2 types of sugar in here. So sad. So sad. So the first ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it only has 1. But I believe there's more sugar down further in there. So it's got pineapple juice. That's technically kind of a sugar. Let's see, spiced caramel, molasses. There's the other sugar. That's further on down the list. So it's got less molasses than it does high fructose corn syrup. That's just so petty, that they would do that to their customers, because why? It's like, really, you're just struggling to make so much money when you're one of the most popular brands in the country. Just put real sugar in there. You can mark the price up on that a little bit just to cover the cost of whatever real sugar is, and people will still buy it as long as the recipe's solid. That's just my opinion on it. All right. Is it humid? Yeah, it's not humid here. Now, Alaska in the wintertime and the summertime, it's like in the wintertime, it's considered the frozen desert. We have very low humidity. So it can be a lot colder here and not feel nearly as cold as, let's say, Missouri. You know, when it gets down to 32 degrees in Missouri, it's freaking cold because there's so much moisture in the air. Now, up here at 32 degrees, you see people outside in t-shirts and shorts, you know, because it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. But you know, when it gets hot, it feels pretty hot, but it's not humid hot. It's kind of more like an Arizona type heat, but it's not nearly as bad. Man, I got bacon. I need to cook up some bacon. Heather, the majority of mustards are pretty decent. Just like I say, flip around the package, see what's in there. See if some of them contain sugar, some of them contain seed oils. They don't need it. They're not necessary for making a good mustard. Like even some of the inexpensive mustards, I have one over here. Really, I don't believe there's a whole lot in it. That's horrible. So this is just regular French's organic mustard that we can buy at Fred Meyer's, Car Safeway, pretty much all the stores here. They start off with the typical advertising, gluten-free. Like, why would there be gluten? I mean, it's mustard. Come on. So it's just like words. We're putting words on there just because. I don't say that it says keto friendly. It might as well just say keto friendly, but maybe it's not keto friendly. Let's see the ingredients: organic vinegar, water, organic mustard seed, salt, organic turmeric, organic paprika, organic spice. They overuse organic. It's like they sell the whole product around organic, so they have to say everything is organic in here. But when they say organic, they should say somewhere on the package that it's certified organic. And even then, I question it because I don't know these people. I don't trust these people. And sometimes they will. Okay, it says true organics on here. Organic blended with turmeric and mustard seed. Oh, there it is. You got the labels down here. USDA organic. And then the whole non-GMO verified. But yeah, you really got to watch what you're buying these days. And the majority of things that are coming out now on the market for us to buy and consume, that's processed foods, a lot of it is bioengineered. Now, whether bioengineering food products is safe or not is kind of too early to tell. You know, we'll find out in the next 20, 30 years, maybe 40 years, you know, if that's a problem. But I know a lot of people out there, they see bioengineered anything and they just run away from it. And I think it's not a bad idea. But again, it's up in the air. That's a total debatable topic there. I can actually use some of this. Now, the one thing I hate about mustard is there's always that liquid. Almost always that liquid. But yeah, it's kind of runny. And this stuff is so yellow. Like, really, is this really no coloring in here? No, I guess that's just regular mustard. This is really, really bright. It's like paint yellow. You could paint a picture with this stuff. Now you put your AC on today. One of my favorite Tabasco sauces is the habanero. The habanero. I'm not sure if it's a smoked habanero or what, but there's something about Tabasco habanero sauce. It's spicy, but it's got a sweet type of flavor almost. And I don't know why. It's just so if you're like having a sugar craving, it kind of works. If you put that on your meat, it gives you a nice spice. It doesn't light your freaking mouth on fire. So that's why it works really well. I used to put that stuff on everything. I just haven't been able to find it. Yeah, I could go buy it on Amazon, but that'll be a little while. Once I get back to work, we'll get some more realistic stuff in the house to talk about. DeSantis put a stop to engineered meat here in Florida. That's good, man. There's a lot of crap that Florida has, you know, kind of stopped. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. Some people move there because of it. Some people move away because of it. But that's, there's other places to live in the world. Now, I personally wouldn't live in Florida myself because just about the entire state is considered a floodplain. And at some point, if something random happens in the world, which I'm not predicting that it ever will, it's just that whole peninsula could be completely underwater. And then, those people living up there in Georgia might have oceanfront property at some point. But, whatever. That's why trailer parks are pretty popular down there. They put fruit in it. Are you talking about the Tabasco barbecue sauce? Or not the Tabasco habanero sauce, maybe? It's possible. I'd have to read the ingredients on it, but I know it's good. It's good. And the nice thing about it is you're not just covering your stuff. You're only using a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people did. Oh, thank you for clarifying there. The one and only. He was talking about the habanero. Yeah, the population in Florida, I would imagine, did. I think a lot of people went to Texas. People were literally running out of California, places like California and New York City. Mm-mm. I mean, it was a hot mess. And it was like there was kind of a media blackout around it. It's like they didn't want to tell people the truth. They didn't care that. It's like New York City did not care that people were, people with money, lots of money, were up and just leaving. They're like, nope, we're out. I couldn't imagine trying to live through that in New York City, such a populated place. And all that the news is trying to do is just scare the holy crap out of people. So, and they live in tall buildings, got community stairs, community elevators, and everybody's walking around with a freaking muzzle on their face, just trying to avoid each other. Yeah, Florida was not locked down for long, and the people appreciated that. So many states. So we were kind of locked down here, but not really. I mean, it was the most loose lockdown ever. There was no, I don't think businesses were forced to close. We did have some businesses that flat out refused to do the whole mask policy, and this is mainly just here in Anchorage. Anchorage was just bonkers for a little while. You go out to Wasilla, which isn't that far away, and it was like nothing. There was like nobody cared about COVID. Everybody was walking around. The people that cared were wearing masks and doing what they were supposed to do. There wasn't a whole lot of drama and arguments about it. But here in town, you had these little people chasing you around, like, put your mask on, put it over your nose like you're on an airplane. And that was one thing I hated. I hated taking flights, because you're trying to breathe. You got this stupid mask on your face, so you like pull it down so you breathe out your nose, and that dang flight attendants running around telling everybody you need to cover your face. And I'm like, or what? What exactly is going to happen? You're going to kick me off the flight? And we're almost there. We're just about ready to land. You're telling me to put my mask on. Like, come on. Yeah, this is good. But anyways, I lost a couple pounds last night while I slept. I weighed myself before I went to bed, and I weighed myself just a little bit ago. And that was even after I had coffee and some water and had some eggs. I lost over 2 pounds while I slept. I was like, cool. That's nice. Losing weight is always good, especially when you're sleeping. When you're losing weight while sleeping, that's the best time. And that's where I put most of my focus is losing weight when I'm sleeping. Because if you do fasting correctly, that's how you lose the majority of your weight when fasting. And almost all of that, we're not talking fat loss, we're talking water weight. And most of us are carrying around anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds of water weight. I think right now, it's safe to say that I have at least 15 pounds of water weight on me. So if I did an extensive fast again, I could easily lose, realistically, 6 to 7 pounds in the next week doing an egg fast. And that's with drinking water. And that way to just peel right off. Just boom, like that. Then it's my job to maintain it after that. And the only way to maintain it is, for me, is just eating meat like this. As long as I continue to eat this way, I'm not going like up through the roof. So even if I got hungry, wanted a snack, I just eat meat, eat some boiled eggs. 3 eggs, that's a meal. 3 eggs will fill up most people. Wow. Ooh, it landed right in the bowl. Gotta pay the puppy tax. I have a really good dog. Put this stuff away. This stuff needs to go back in the fridge. I almost threw this stuff away, but I was like, well, I got family members. Somebody will use it. And I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Kinders, but this is I don't know when this stuff came available. Like, there's a lot of variations in Kinder's sauces. Like this one here, I don't think this is one that I would eat, but this is a Kinder's wing sauce. Now, Kinder's is, I don't remember when they came to Alaska or if they've always been here, but it seems like, I didn't start scouting out like new type of sauces until after I found out the tragic information of Baby Ray's barbecue sauce is full of poison. This one here does have some weird stuff in it. Let's see, it starts out with water, Anaheim pepper puree, citric acid, vinegar, red jalapeno red. There's something in here that I didn't like. It's got natural sugar, which is fine. But then the next ingredient after that is soybean oil. That right there messes me up. That soybean oil will cause inflammation in my feet, in my legs, in my brain, in places I don't want to be inflamed. And then everything else after that's not too bad. Garlic powder, jalapeno powder, cayenne pepper, xanthan gum, then smoke flavor. So the natural sugar would be something I would bat an eyelash at and still eat it, but the soybean oil, it doesn't need soybean oil. I don't know why they use it. They could use a different type of oil, a better type of oil, and that product would still be somewhat useful to many more people. Well, this one here, this is a gold, Kinder's barbecue sauce gold. I think this one might have a little something in it too that I wasn't too keen on. This one had caramel color. Caramel color, that's an artificial color. That's one of those things. Some people have issues with color. Yellow mustard, paprika, spices, vinegar, salt, molasses. There it is, molasses. It's got molasses and cornstarch. Natural smoke. Yeah, there's just a couple things in here. This isn't something that I would be overly concerned with if I got some of it in my body. But, it's a halfway decent product. These guys really do a good job. Whoever this guy is, I don't know who that guy is, but they do a pretty decent job of putting together some decent sauces, that really aren't going to wreck the boat when we try to like barbecue or do something like that. Yeah, I'd support this company. I'd support more of certain products over other products, that's for sure. But it's nice to know, it's nice to learn these things, that anybody can eat a little bit healthier just by learning some ingredients and what they do. Let's see. Hey there from the UK. I appreciate you dropping in. Hey, could you send me a postcard from the UK? That would be appreciated. That is in the description section today. I did write up a description section. You could find that by clicking those 3 dots, and also click that like button if you could. But yeah, we would love to get postcards from the UK, just with a little message on the bottom, whatever. It doesn't cost a lot to mail a postcard. Most people throw that money out the window and give it to a homeless person. But yeah, send a postcard, please. All right, I need to get to work. I need to actually sit down and start doing this stuff. This is part of my life, and I need more cameras. I need more cameras. I always need more microphones. I wish my phone I could adapt this to my phone, but I have a really, really inexpensive cell phone. So I'm lucky to even do live streams halfway decently. But yeah, this is my other setup. That's how the mic attaches. just what things look like. It's all part of doing stuff. It's all part of doing stuff. How much is that microphone? This microphone here, this comes with 2 of these mics. This is the actual transmitter, and this one over here is the receiver. So these are about $110, $15 a piece. And then, you know, it all comes as a package. So it was about $300 or $399. And I bought these in an emergency pinch at Best Buy. So whatever the Best Buy price is, which is either, it's like $299 or $399. I don't know. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. And these have been super reliable. They have some software you can get. You can put it on your laptop and you can dial it in. They also have some software that attaches to your phone. If your phone is capable of using one of these microphones, because not all phones are, and it all has to do with whatever camera software has been installed in your phone. So I can use this mic on my phone if I use a camera app, and then it'll work with it, but I can't do live streams because of the original software in the phone has a dumbed down camera for some reason. So I'd have to buy a new cell phone that has a better camera with a better application installed. But yeah, these are cool. They work really well. And they come with these little dead cats you can screw into the top right here. And like if I'm out and about and I got a shirt pocket that has like a pen holder, they can sit right here, and it gets really good audio even on a windy day. But as a general rule of thumb, they tell you this is about how far away from your mouth your microphone should be. So wherever your thumb hits your bottom lip, you know, to your pinky. So you'll see a lot of guys wearing them right here. Or you can see them in people's hats. Sometimes I'll have mine on the hat if I'm driving around in my car, because my seatbelt might go over the microphone or get too close. I don't want it to interfere. Yeah, Sam Sulek uses that one all the time. Now, Sam Sulek is he's a guy that YouTube literally emailed me about. I didn't know who Sam Sulek was. He does a lot of, I guess apparently YouTube thinks that me and him do some similar content, you know, just the way we talk, just the way we're like talk from experience and not a whole lot of jargon that people don't understand. We just say it like it is, like from how we learned it. That's how Sam Sulek talks to people. And they sent me a link to his channel, wanted me to research him and figure out how he does stuff and make short form videos. But I hate, I don't know why, I hate making short form videos, 60-second videos. I can do these live streams all day long for hours and never run out of things to talk about. But there's something wrong with me apparently, because when I think of a 60-second short, I guess I'm overthinking it. I just need to start doing them because they drive a lot of traffic to the channel. So don't these vertical live streams. They do amazing things for the channel. I meet all kinds of new people because I'm displayed in the shorts feed. People are just scrolling and they just hear my voice and they just stop for a second, check me out, maybe spam me for a little while, make fun of my forehead, and whatever. But yeah, Sam Sulek's a pretty interesting guy. He's really young, and at times I do worry about him and his health because I don't know. He tends to over calorie things because calories matter where they come from. And he gets a lot of his calories from like chocolate milk and eating cereal. And, you know, thermodynamics, he talks about that too. Well, thermodynamics is just a little bit different when it comes to the carnivore diet because you're getting our calories from a healthy source versus just garbage calories, in my opinion. And the type of calories you get doesn't equate to just thermodynamics in itself, because I can overeat meat. I can have, 6,000-7,000 calories just eating meat, okay, versus 6,000 calories eating sugar and garbage. Well, the whole thermodynamics doesn't equate because, for one, I'm a lazy guy. But if I eat 6,000 calories from sugar in, like, say, donuts or cereal or chocolate milk, I'm shooting up in the weight right away. But if I eat the same 6,000 calories, it doesn't, apparently thermodynamics is thrown out the window there, because I don't gain weight if I eat 6,000 calories of meat. I'll gain whatever weight, it takes to digest the food. That's it. I'm not putting on the fat like I would, because 90% of the meat is absorbed into the body. There's very little bit of the fat and meat that goes out the other end is waste product. When you're pooping, it's just so weird how that all works. I don't understand it. I had to drop a like because Sam Sulek. Yeah, absolutely. I do try to watch his videos. YouTube's got a weird way of filtering out my feed. They like to push vegan haters on me. So yeah, I get to see a lot of that crap, and I hit that. I'm not interested. I will study I'll study their content for a while to see what they have to say. But I think YouTube does it on purpose to try to trigger me and get me to make foolish statements or something like that, because that's who I am. I see something absolutely ridiculous. These guys talking about, meat's gonna clog your arteries and you're gonna have a heart attack. It's like, well, no, meat doesn't do that. It doesn't tend to do that. It will do that if you're eating a highly processed food type diet with a bunch of seed oils. Yeah, you definitely have to worry about all that. So, but I'm not worried about that because I'm only eating meats and fats. A little bit of sauce, some coffee once in a while. Once in a while, I'll put a condiment on or two, but I'm not overindulging in overly processed foods. And those overly processed foods are the ones that are responsible for cancer and diabetes and all kinds of stuff. High fructose corn syrup. You just stay out of it. Stay away from it. Avoid high fructose corn syrup at every corner. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys out there, even health people, they talk, oh, a little bit of it ain't going to hurt you. Well, your body doesn't know what to do with high fructose corn syrup. As soon as you put it in there, it doesn't know where to put it. It doesn't know what to do with it. It's just real dangerous stuff. I started drinking chocolate milk like Sam Sulek, and I've been pretty crazy results. And you will. I used to be a weightlifter myself many years ago, Lars. And I had different opinions on health and nutrition back then, because a lot of us, we were really, really young. And I didn't have that extra 30 years to screw up my body in the process. And a lot of it it's a slow death. When you're doing stuff like that, yes, you can have some crazy results. You can bulk up fast. You can tone pretty fast, because your body works differently. But over the years, like say whatever age you are, just add 20, 30 years of doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're doing the right thing. You might find it, you may or may not, you might find it to be like, I kind of screwed up a little bit. Now I got to kind of try to reverse some of the stuff that I did, but it's okay. I mean, you can figure it out later in life like I did. Just start eating more meats and fats. One half dozen in the other ways of doing this. Losing weight, getting in better health. Some people do it with vegetables. They have pretty decent look. But there is one thing that isn't available in vegetables, and that's collagen. Collagen only comes from animal products. Sorry. I mean, some people use a little bit of the membrane from the chicken eggs because that contains some collagen. But could you imagine just being that desperate for collagen to make a bunch of hard-boiled eggs and strip that little membrane off and use that? That's too much nonsense. So, yeah, being 100% vegan, it just wasn't working for me. Plus there's no real sustainable B12 in a vegan diet. I mean, the most abundant B12 is literally in meat products. B12 and collagen, two things that you need. And I got some stuff saved on my phone. I can't access it right now, but it's just some funny information about vegan face and stuff like that. But I can't think of the quotations off the top of my head. All right, guys, I screwed it up for years following healthy fruit and veg. Wish I knew what I know now. Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, I did the same thing. I mean, this is why this whole generation is having a great awakening. Everybody's waking up, all of a sudden to find out that we were really taught a lot of the wrong stuff. And a lot of us, we got into the overly easily processed foods, the easy stuff, the Little Debbie snack cakes, Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies and Cheez-Its and the potato chips and Doritos. And man, those things are addictive. It's like, I see them sometimes and I'm like, oh, maybe just one. And then I'm just like, you know what? I remember what I felt like when I used to eat potato chips and Doritos and all that stuff. I felt like trash after I ate it. And then I would wind up passing out in bed and just feel like crap when I woke up. Didn't have any energy. But when you're young, you don't know it as much because you kind of bounce back. It's just like alcohol. When I was young and drank, the hangover wasn't that big of a deal because we can rebound pretty quick. But now if I were to drink now as an old guy, a 50-year-old guy, yeah, I'd be under the table after 2 beers. I'd feel like crap for the next 3 days. I'd have brain fog. I'd be irritable. It's just not worth it anymore. Hey there, Holly Hobbies. Appreciate you jumping in there. But yeah, I started drinking. Yeah, let's see. Had the drop. There we go. How much? I already answered that question. Hello from the UK. Not a whole lot going on in here. Yeah, I was just getting ready to wrap this up, Holly Hobbies, because I've been going now for almost an hour and a half. I am set up at my table here. I got all my gear kind of just hanging out, waiting for a moment where I can actually think, because I'm trying to make a specific video and talk about specific things. And it's kind of hard to do that when I had my kids bouncing back and forth. And the only time they're quiet is when I do these random live streams. They kind of booger off and go watch TV or take a bath. But as soon as I get these cameras out and I set them up and I'm ready to start filming, then all of a sudden, then they start running back and forth. They're in and out the doors, slamming doors. And it's just like, I love my kids. I don't want to scold them for being kids because it's cloudy out. It's kind of chilly. We're not doing much outside. So, I see I'm 19, and last night I cooked a bunch of meals for the week. Chicken stir fry with egg noodles and some greens. Now, here's the thing, Laurie, is you're 19 years old. That's a perfectly acceptable diet right there. But you have to remember, I'm 50 years old. And how this equates is I've done a lot of damage to my body. Now, if you maintain good health, good fitness, and you eat a pretty clean diet, you just try to stay away from as much garbage. Learn how to read ingredients. I mean, this is just an old guy, trying to give one of his kids advice. If you want to live healthy at my age and not have to go through all this nonsense of extreme elimination, extreme fasting, extreme weight loss, because I went through the bulletproof stage myself, from between 19 and 35. That was the bulletproof stage most of us kind of have. Some of us screw it up a little sooner, and we have to start being a little bit more strict at age 30. But once you hit 25, your body's going to go through changes, hormonal changes, testosterone changes, especially depending on how much sugar intake you have, the types of sugar, like corn syrups, high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that. Just avoid it. If you can avoid it now, you never have to worry about high fructose being a problem later, because the sugar created a lot of issues for me. I had these little black floaties that were floating around in my eyesight. So when I look, I had these little things just doing this every time I turn my head. Well, since I've been out of the sugar and I avoid a lot of carbohydrates, like rice and breads, and a lot of vegetables have carbohydrates, I had to take them all out, because I got to a point where almost any carbs at all would bring them back. And I've done it. I've gotten rid of them, and I've brought them back temporarily, but I know how to get rid of them. So I got rid of them. Again, I don't have those stupid floaties, because they get in your way when you're trying to look at traffic signs and traffic lights, and they're really annoying. So just pay attention to your ingredient labels, understand everything there. I mean, and then you don't have to do what I'm doing. I mean, you can be in better health, and then talk about better health and how you're staying in better health. And absolutely, get out here and just talk about it. There's a lot of people you could help in your age group that would follow you and just want to stay healthy and avoid all that crap. Let's see, the Happy Gun. Hello, what are your thoughts on vaping and intermittent fasting? Well, my thoughts on vaping is the only reason I use these anymore is because I quit smoking. I don't chew tobacco. I don't use tobacco products. And I use this just to calm myself, because I only started losing weight and getting healthier in the last year. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of financial situations that arise quickly from being morbidly obese, changing your lifestyle and stuff like that. Intermittent fasting is incredibly powerful. I've done so many different ways of fasting. I have several videos about different fasts that I've done throughout this weight loss journey. And I love fasting. I think it's fantastic. But is it sustainable? I don't know the answer to that. When my doctor asked me that question, is fasting sustainable? Can you do it for the rest of your life? And I'm like, At that time, I was thinking yes, because I had so much success with fasting. And then I was like, on the other hand, I was like, maybe I need to start focusing on diet, nutrition, ingredients, and minor avoidance of a lot of things. So yeah, I went keto, ketovore, then to carnivore, and carnivore just stuck. It just stuck. It worked for me. Cause like I said, I can eat 6,000 calories of meat. I don't gain any weight. If I eat 6,000 calories of vegetables or carbs or other overly processed food, my weight's going to go through the frickin' roof in about a week and a half. I'm going to gain like 20, 30 pounds in a week. Well, it doesn't happen when I eat meat. I also don't tend to overeat meat, and it just provides everything. And plus, once I got rid of the vegetables and I got rid of the fruits and the carbohydrates and sugars, now I can breathe better. I mean, I'm like, seriously, the last 3 days, and I'm a CPAP user, and I've been, back in for a sleep study, and they said I don't need the CPAP anymore. But when you're severe sleep apnea, like I was, I mean, I required it to live for a period of time, and I thought the CPAP would have been the most fantastic addition to my life, because I thought, oh well, now I'm getting more sleep, I'm going to naturally be more active. That's the furthest thing from the truth. I know a lot of morbidly obese people that are on CPAP devices and they eat like crap. And then they complain to their doctors about their sleep. Why does my sleep suck? Why are my numbers still going up? Well, you're eating trash food. If you focus on your food, and these sleep doctors do not discuss that part of the topic. They don't talk about your diet ever in a sleep study or any of that sleep related environment, because they want patience. They need patience to stay busy. So they're just gonna, tweak your CPAP and try to make you happy, but never once will they bring up diet and nutrition. Well, I just recently started bringing it up, and it's spun a lot of heads here on the internet. They're like, "Oh wow, yeah, you got a good point. Focus on your diet," and then all of a sudden, because weight loss isn't the ultimate solve all for everybody with sleep apnea, but eating healthy will improve even the worst sleep apneas. Even for those medical sleep apneas like deviated septums and stuff like that, because it's no longer inflaming the sinuses. So you're going to be able to naturally breathe a little bit better. I wonder how many steaks, 6,000 calories. It would be quite a few steaks. It'd be quite a few burgers. I believe hamburger patties. So if I eat 4 of those hamburger patties I had, that's about 2,000 calories right there, maybe a little bit more, because I don't weigh them out. Sometimes my just one burger patty is a half pound. So I think 4/4 pound burger patties is pretty close to 2,000 calories, like right around 500 calories per patty, right in there. Let's see, I'm taking this all in. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how old you are, Happy Gun. That Lars said he's about 19 years old. He's in pretty good health right now, and I'd like for young kids, younger generations, to like, hey, just take notes from the older farts. And I'm that guy. I'm that older fart, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna tell you what I did. How I screwed up. When I screwed up, because I spent my entire life thinking I was never gonna get fat. I was never gonna be the fat truck driver that had the belly touching the steering wheel. Well, guess what? In time, it does happen. You have relationship issues, emotional issues in your life. People pass away, breakups, stuff like that. It all affects you in different ways, and you just start naturally gaining weight. I mean, because like when you get 35, your body just starts changing it anyways. It starts to slow down a little bit, and it's correctable, but it's all correctable through the foods we eat, and it's nothing you can buy in a powder. It's nothing you can buy in a pouch. I mean, just focus on the whole foods, single ingredient foods. The less ingredients you have, the less stuff that you add to your food, the healthier you're just going to be naturally. It's just so strange. I mean, that's for people that want to eat some carbs too. Just focus on what's in the ingredients in the carbs that you're eating. If you want to get some carbs from rice, whatever, that's up to you. I avoid carbs because they trigger me to eat crap. The crap in here, gets me into candy. And now when it comes to candy, if I were to advise somebody like, hey, what kind of candy is somewhat okay to eat? Dark chocolate, like the stuff that's made out of cacao, not cocoa. Cacao has a ton of benefits to it. I mean, it affects hormone levels. It affects attitude. It keeps us happy. just a little bit of it. You don't need to eat a whole bar of it. Just eat a little bit of it, and it's not full of sugar. It's just cacao, and you can use it to make coffee in the morning and stuff like that. And it's not just the word chocolate is associated with a lot of sugar, and depending on where you get your chocolate from and what it's made from, like again, ingredients are important. White chocolate, the majority of white chocolate is made with some sort of oil, and that's how it works. Is it's made with some sort of oil. Well, a lot of the cheap, inexpensive chocolates, you find wrapped up in the little tin foils. Those things are made with vegetable oils as well. And if you just pay attention to what you're putting in, if you want milk chocolate, fine, get milk chocolate. Just pay attention to what else is in there too at the same time. Let's see. 12,000 calories. Lars, when I was prepping for my show at the end of it, I was on keto, eating 1,200 calories for 2 days, and then 1 day fasted while burning 800 calories in cardio a day. I rebounded so hard. That was my problem with keto, Lars, is that when I did keto, I was all over the place because keto is confusing. I mean, you have to really, it's kind of like being a vegan. You have to sit down and super science everything. Because if you're going to be a vegan, you have to super science, the oxalates and stuff like that. Try to find your vitamins. You're cherry picking from the tree of other people's advice. And I don't really have to do that as much when doing the carnivore diet because, eat meats and fats is meats and fats. I mean, we get vitamin C, we get B12, we get collagen naturally from meat. Sardines are just packed full of nutrients. Eggs are packed full of nutrients. I mean, it just the sardines and eggs alone. I mean, that almost covers all the bases for all the outside type supplements I might have, with the exception of like zinc and magnesium. Fish oil, that's another one that I like to take. But I do supplement some zinc. I supplement fish oil. And let's see what else I got over there. I don't need to supplement B12. So sometimes D3s, I'll supplement those. But I really don't have a lot of supplements. Some magnesium. Yeah, I'll take about 2 capsules of magnesium. And there's several different types of magnesium, so you got to kind of dial in which one you feel like you need. And that takes a little bit of work, but it's not like trying to figure out which vegetables I should cook to avoid a super high oxalate spike. Because, like almonds and nuts, for instance. Yeah, if I eat almonds and nuts, I'll eat like a whole container of them, and then I'll have kidney stones in less than a week. And then if I eat raw spinach, another one, that's a great one for kidney stones. I mean, it's not from the cheese. It's not from the dairy like they try to claim. It's from the freaking vegetables you're being told to eat. That's where most of our kidney stones come from. So you shouldn't have to take testosterone at all at your age. I mean, I'm just telling you, you want to correct your testosterone, eggs. Eggs will correct your testosterone. That was the quickest thing, was doing an egg fast that I found out. Was as soon as I was done the egg fast, my T levels went up. And then I did a different type of egg fast, and my T levels went up again. So yeah, if you want to fix your testosterone and boost your T levels, I've heard of other people on carnivore diet boosting their T levels, and they eat about 30 eggs in a day. That seems like a lot, but that is a little bit over your calories for the day. So I can eat approximately 20 eggs a day and be under 2,000 calories for the day. And then if I'm slightly active, that still puts me in a calorie deficit. So I can actually lose weight, eat about 2,000 calories in a day. I'm still in a calorie deficit. If I'm a little bit active, I'm still getting fit. But you have to remember, my situation is different than Lars's situation. He's 19 years old. He's working out. He's doing keto. He's doing pretty good for right now, as long as he's avoiding all the other crap that there's really no sense in getting into. So yeah, nuts. That's how that all works. But yeah, you shouldn't be needing. Eat some organ meats, like a little bit of liver. Sardines are super powerful. You want to stay in ketosis. You want to stay cut. Eggs, sardines, chicken, depending on what type of situation you're doing. Like if you're trying to go for the physique you're looking for, yeah, I used to do that stuff. I mean, that's what I used to do when I was younger. I tried to get that nice cut look, 6-pack abs, and the nice chiseled pectorals, doing a lot of push-ups and bench presses. I mean, I was pretty proud of myself, at one point, but it's unsustainable. That's what a lot of these guys forget to talk about when they're looking like just freaking awesome. It's like, that's an unsustainable lifestyle. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't look like that anymore. Vin Diesel doesn't look like he did at his best. Of course not, because as soon as you actually start drinking some water, I mean, everything changes. You lose the definition, you lose the cut, you start looking a little softer on the outside. So, in order to be cut, you have to dehydrate yourself, and it's super unhealthy. And I used to hang around those people at the gym. They would be like, "Oh, I've been like 3 days without water." I'm like, that sounds like a really bad idea. It sounds like a bad idea. I mean, for losing weight, I need to drink more water. If I stop drinking weight, I'm not losing the weight. I mean, if I stop drinking water, I'm not losing the weight. Everything just stops. My body decides to hold on to water. So it's not, in gear to lose weight. And it's also in gear to retain water at that point. So I have to stay thoroughly hydrated. I can't eat that many eggs because I take so much gear that my cholesterol is kind of screwed. Well, if you're not diving into overly processed foods like McDonald's and all the inside aisle type foods, if you're sticking to the outside aisles like they recommend, and you're eating, single ingredient healthy foods, I don't worry about my cholesterol. My cholesterol is the least thing that I worry about. My cholesterol is high. My doctors look at it. They can tell from my blood work I'm doing the right thing. Even though my cholesterol levels are elevated, LDL's elevated too. Everything improves. When you're eating meats and fats, you poop normal. You get to choose when you want to poop. That's a blessing. It took a little while to transition to that point, but that's why I like the carnivore diet, is because before I had anxiety poops, to where I had to schedule my entire day around where the bathrooms were. Even truck driving, I had to know, okay, am I going to be able to hold it until I can get to the porta potty or to the restroom or make it to this point? And it was horrible. And then it was like a diarrhea explosion because I was eating all the wrong stuff. But when you eat all the right stuff, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, cholesterol is not an issue. There's so many carnivores that talk about their cholesterol. That's what my video was about today. Is I was going to talk a little bit about my most recent blood work, talk about some vitamins that they were worried about me possibly being deficient in. And I've been eating pretty serious carnivore for the last 2-3 months. I've been really, really getting more strict and more strict and more strict. Once in a while, a little this or that might slip in. I might go off the rails for a day, but a day doesn't screw up the whole works. Just like you, for instance, you can go out and eat an entire cheesecake one day, and as long as that's all you did for one day out of a month, it's not going to screw up anything. It's just going to satisfy you because you went out and wrecked it with cheesecake. Natural testosterone will plummet. Yeah, you gotta. I mean, if you're a young guy at 19, you really need to, figure out your testosterone levels, and you should not have to manipulate your testosterone by taking supplements. All of those testosterone boosters that like GNC provides, and all those other Amazon online places that say like, yeah, improve your testosterone levels with this product. That's a dangerous game to play with, especially at your age, because when you start taking stuff like that, it can do permanent damage to your body. So by the time you get to my age, in another 20, 30 years, you're going to be in a whole hot mess, different situation, because every time you take a supplement, it's got to go somewhere. The body's got to do something and process it. So if it's simple, if it's in a pill, it's usually not a good idea. Now, some vitamins, okay, I'm not too worried about that. Certain vitamins, yeah, I'm gonna hyperanalyze them. I'm gonna look at where they come from and like try to break down the ingredients and stuff like that. But we have to do our own research. Don't just blindly take a testosterone supplement from anybody, even prescribed stuff, without doing a little science, because a little bit of research, a little bit of looking back into it. I've been prescribed drugs for weight loss so many times. And I have just, even Ozempic, and Ozempic's the miracle drug that everybody's trying to get for weight loss. I started losing weight myself without Ozempic. I never took the Ozempic. I threw it in the garbage after I started doing some research and found out it had so many side effects. So just because it's easy, just because it's prescribed by a doctor, doesn't mean it's safe. You got to be careful. yeah, a lot of us do have. Holly Hobby says many carnivores have a high cholesterol profile and burning excess fat because that is what your body burns in ketosis. Absolutely. I'm always cold, by the way. So it can be hot and I'll still be pretty chilly. 90-day strict carnivore and you will see a big difference. 60 to 90 seems to be the sweet spot. Yeah, me personally, like if I thrive on burger meat. So if I go out and purchase burger meat, I'm looking at 80-20. And everybody's a little different. 80-20 is as lean as I'll go when it comes to just hamburger meat. 70-30 works pretty good, but it does kind of loosen me up a little bit. So that means that it's a little bit too much fat, because I like to add a little bit of extra fat when I'm cooking. Beef tallow, sometimes butter, sometimes bacon fat. And then, I got a pretty good ratio going on there and I can eat that. And then I'll add cheese as well. And by the way, since I've been on carnivore, I haven't had one problem with kidney stones. That's adding some dairy too. Sometimes it's yogurt, sometimes it's sour cream. Yeah, I said Greek yogurt already. Cheese, I'm a cheeseaholic too. That's something that comes with being morbidly obese and addicted to pizza. But I haven't had any kidney stone issues since I got away from the vegetables, the spinach and the nuts. Got away from all that. I don't even know what that is. Testosterone, and now anahate. I mean, you're a couple anabolics. Yeah, do some. Just be careful, man. I mean, I know when I was 19, there wasn't anybody out there that could tell me to do anything different than what I thought. But man, I tell you what, you could have some issues later. And that's a problem because there was a lot of stuff we were doing. When those energy drinks came out, like Red Bull, I was abusing those things because I thought they were great. A lot of truck drivers were abusing them too. Mountain Dew was another one. There's a Red Line energy drink out there, and that one should be taken off the shelves because that's a super dose of caffeine. Too much caffeine really screws you up, and it's not a great idea to use caffeine for weight loss. I think they found that out back in the 1990s when they were selling all those diet pills, and they were just jacking you up with caffeine, and people were having heart attacks as a result. Go figure. You are going to burn out your adrenals and possibly your thyroid. Yeah, that's another issue. That means you probably have high cortisol levels. You got to watch that too. But yeah, with a little bit of research and just understanding, and I think if somebody were just to talk to Lars in the right tone of voice, he might take a little bit more of this to heart. But I understand, man. I used to be 19 too. Yeah, my son's in his early 20s. He doesn't listen to a word I say. He thinks he knows everything. He thinks he can eat whatever he wants. And he's super muscular, just like I was. I mean, he talks to me like I'm surprised that he's a super muscular kid and he can break chains on bicycles when he goes for bike rides. I was like, well, you come from me, dude. I said, I did all that stuff when I was younger too, but it catches up with you the older you get. And yeah, I didn't even start getting a poochy belly until I hit 25 years old. I always had a flat stomach. I was really skinny. I was tall. I looked like a little tiny, skinny, tall kid, from Ethiopia almost. But I could always build muscle. That was the only difference, is I could look at a set of weights sitting on the other side of the table and on the floor, not even touch them, and I would build muscle. And I can still build muscle pretty quick. I just have to get into the weights and just start doing it again. And I've been lazy. I've been really lazy. I'm the laziest guy on the internet that figured out how to lose weight because I don't exercise. I really don't. And it's just been within the last month that I've been able to get back on my mountain bike. I've been able to go for some hikes. I've been able to walk my kids back and forth to school, which is uphill going there. And that was a challenge there. About 1 year ago, that wasn't happening. I wasn't able to make it up the stairs. I mean, stairs were scary. I was so fat. For every action, there is a reaction. Yes, there is. That is true. But yeah, I mean, thyroid issues, that's a weird one because I did some pretty good studying on thyroid issues. I talked to my doctors about that, because we did check my thyroid levels. not T levels. We also checked those, but we did check my thyroid levels. Everything was normal, because they thought I might have a thyroid issue or potentially damaging my thyroid or something. I'm not sure why they tested my thyroid, because it was never something I brought up as a topic. And then they were talking, they're like, it's only like 1% of the population actually has a thyroid issue or sensitive thyroid. So unless, of course, they've done something to themselves, which created the issue to happen. So, yeah, I mean, figure out what damages stuff and try to avoid that. I've seen some little thin guys with mad strength too, but everyone wants to be stacked. Even though genetics, it takes hours of work without enhancements. Yeah, I mean, if you're getting super jacked super fast, then yeah, you're doing something different than anybody else is doing. Like the whole chocolate milk thing and eating 3 bowls of cereal, that will get you jacked up. I used to eat like 5 bowls, 5 big giant tubs of spaghetti. When I was weightlifting and working out. But the only problem with all the spaghetti and the tomato sauce and all that, it was screwing up the situation in my body. I'd be more irritated from the tomato sauce. I'd be all sugar jacked from the pasta, and the extra carbohydrates. But I would still be building muscle. But I felt like crap. I felt like crap when I ate that way. Now, if I had spaghetti with butter, natural fat instead of the tomato sauce and a ton of meat added in there. So it would kind of like tone down the carbohydrates and I'd have more solid proteins to digest. I would have been light years ahead, especially when it comes to, lifting weights and feeling better by the time I was done eating. And it's also about the type of pasta you're eating. If you're eating a good, clean type pasta, and I'm not talking like the crap foot type pasta you get at Walmart or one of the regular grocery stores. I'm talking, some good healthy pasta. I believe he said he was eating some egg noodles. That's a good one. But make sure your pasta to meat ratio is a little bit higher. And then you're going to start feeling better. You're going to start breathing better too, because your histamine levels are going to be lower and you're going to get a better workout in. You're going to get more gains doing it that way than doing it, most other ways that people talk about and recommend. Protein powders, waste of money. Whey protein, waste of money. All that stuff. I used to do it too. I made all those drinks. I don't remember how many times I spent $90 on a powder and I wound up throwing it in the garbage after a while because you just get burnt out on it. You don't want to use it anymore. But yeah, it's not the best way. Let's see. Any people? Any people in those farthest inland have the highest thyroid issues? Okay, I love bread and pasta, but gluten is like toxic waste in my body. Next day, I can hardly walk and it hurts so bad. Now, my little brother, he's adopted, by the way. He's from my dad, but he was adopted out to another family. And he is my biological brother. He brought up a while back, and he's much younger than me. He said he was gluten intolerant. And at that time, I didn't think anything about it. I thought he was just freaking nuts, gluten intolerant. But in the back of my mind, I was like, what is a gluten? I don't even know what it is now. I just know if I avoid like breads and stuff like that or pizza dough, I don't have a lot of issues that I used to have. So I don't know. I always had digestion issues too. So I'm guessing the glutens would affect my digestion as well. So if I just take it out of the spectrum of things, I mean, I have perfect bowel movements now. And that's something I haven't had in like 30 years. Perfect bowel movements, like one after the other after the other. And it's not an emergency. I'm not like, oh, I gotta poop right now, and I'm not farting and pooping my pants every day. I mean, what a difference. What a difference. Hi, John. I agree. Protein powder isn't carnivore or good for you. Well, the majority of it's not. And I used to take one. I think it was called Carnivore. I think that was one of the protein powders I used to take. And again, it didn't show me much improvement. And a lot of those powders, they don't. It sets the mind up. It's like getting started for a fast. I mean, you got to get your mindset correct, or else the fast isn't going to be, really good. It's not going to work. I mean, just not eating, that's not fasting. I mean, you have to have the physical mindset set in place before you start the fast, why you're going to fast, your time frame, your start time, your end time, what you're going to do afterwards, how you're going to maintain yourself through the fast. All that needs to be thought about before you start a fast. And as soon as you get all that laid out and you have a plan, and then you prepare yourself with good nutrition before heading into a fast, the fast is, and we got disconnected. Ah, yeah, we got disconnected there. Anyways, but then the fast is so freaking easy, because you already set your body up with some good, healthy nutrition before you start the fast, and then it just rolls. It's so easy to even do a 5-day fast as long as you get enough nutrition before you start. But I think a lot of people fail fasting when they start a fast and they did not prepare for it correctly. Like getting a lot of nutrients in your body before you start. You want to be full, sometimes a little bit overstuffed. This is what I do before I start a fast. And then as long as I got that basic, platform set up, a 3-day fast, 65-hour fast doesn't seem so hard. 36-hour fasting is some of the easiest fasting I've ever done. 24-hour fasting is just almost natural. I mean, eating one meal a day, that's kind of my carnivore life anyways, is I can eat almost all of my calories like I did earlier in the stream in one sitting. And there you go. I don't need a whole bunch of snacks. If I do snack at all, I'm having a hard-boiled egg or a Chomps beef stick or, something else, maybe some bacon, piece of cheese. But yeah, that's my snacks nowadays. I don't just sit down, with a box of Cheez-Its or a bag of popcorn and just keep stuffing my face, because that's counterproductive. Like I say, if you eat gluten-free bread, you should be fine. No, the gluten-free bread's got a lot of problems in it, because a lot of the gluten-free stuff is made from cornstarch, and it's definitely not keto friendly for those people doing keto. And even a lot of the keto options, that say they're keto safe, I found out the hard way. It's just packaging, it's just labels. You get more benefits from eating the plastic wrapper than you would the stuff that's inside it, at least from my experience. And then a lot of them are packed full of cellulose. Well, cellulose is a plant fiber. We don't digest cellulose. It just kind of sits there and creates constipation, especially for those that have irritable bowel syndrome. You're just adding to the fire of irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah, it's hard to win there. The safest gluten-free options I can find are basically like making recipes with egg whites and stuff like that. That works out really well. I mean, powdered egg whites work really good. There's a lot of recipes out there right now that share that information, and it's, you almost can't tell the difference. I mean, even a pizza crust made out of chicken, Parmesan cheese, and egg, I mean, it's already light years ahead of any pizza crust I've ever had in my life. Plus, it's very similar in texture and taste and flavor, and it works. It's all protein and dairy and cheese and eggs. It's just so simple. It's like, well, why haven't we been doing this longer? And even on the flip side of things, one of my favorite types of pizza, even till today, and I'll keep some of them in the freezer if I have the money, is those cauliflower crust pizzas. Those are great for pizza emergencies. Like, you just craving pizza and you want some pizza, and you just, because it's kind of hard to find a protein-based pizza crust for those random, like 2:30 in the morning, like I'm just craving pizza, I'm getting ready to order Domino's. It's like, well, if I don't want to do that, I could just pop in a cauliflower crust pizza, and in 20 minutes I got a healthy, somewhat ketosis friendly pizza, where the entire pizza itself, I could eat that and I'm still under 2,000 calories, for the entire day, if that's my only meal. Let's see. Pork rinds are great, but they are carnivore friendly. The disadvantage to pork rinds is that they're so easy to overeat. It's just like having a box of Cheez-Its, sitting between the driver's seat and you're taking a long road trip. It's just, yeah, the munchability of those is scary, because it's so easy to munch the entire bag, because pork rinds are funny. You'll get one or two that don't taste great, and then you'll get that one pork rind that's just like, and it just hits all the sensations in your flavor profile, everything, and you're digging for that one more that tastes just like that. And in the process, you're getting some pretty good ones, but they don't really give you that, yeah, I gotta have that again. And I used to have that same thing go on with Cheez-Its, because Cheez-Its, as horribly over processed as they are, once in a while you would get that golden Cheez-It, and I call it the golden Cheez-It. It's a little bit overly toasted Cheez-It. It comes off the edges of the assembly line. It's where they're cooking the Cheez-It as it cruises down, but the ones on the edges are typically funneled off and they're put in a bin. And those are the ones when I was eating like crap, I used to ask them when I used to pick up at the Cheez-It factory. I said, "Hey, can I get some of the Cheez-Its off the end?" And they'd bring out this big giant bag full of those ones, and they would be all the little burnt ends on the side, and they have this amazing toasty kind of buttery flavor. Just gives you a nice nasally overtone. And I was part of the project of toasted Cheez-Its too. I was big into that. I was trying to get them to make a really good toasted Cheez-It, and I kept emailing them and sending them messages and made phone calls because I was picking up at their plant anyways. But I was like, hey, what we're looking for, just go find a regular box of Cheez-Its and just dump it out and find the burnt ones. Taste that right there. That's the profile that your people are looking for, for that. So I'm guilty of that one. Kind of gave them the idea for toasted Cheez-It, and they sell pretty good. They're still making them. Let's see, cool thought. Try that out. Breaded meat. Yeah, if you use the pork rind as a breading, you can literally take the pork rinds, just toss them into one of those little tiny food processors, like a bullet. Just grind those up and use that as your breading. That is way better than panko. And panko ultimately isn't the worst, ingredient. But if you're just trying to avoid all the crap, the weird carbs in the panko, just use pork rinds. That is a great alternative to breading anything. Is using pork rinds. Pork rinds, a little bit of egg, dip it in the egg, put it in the pork rinds, fry it up in some natural fat, and boom, you got something delicious. Fatty pork spare ribs, grilled, do that for me. That's the fatty profile. But unlike chips, your body says it's full really, really fast. No, so with rinds. But the problem with pork rinds for me is they don't really fill me up. I mean, not like if I were to eat, let's say, bacon, chicken, ham, pork chops, or hamburger patties. I get full pretty quick off of hamburger patties. Like I just had 3 of those, plus a little bit of what my wife had left over. I'm set. I'm set for the day. I'm not going to be hungry at dinner time. I can make it until tomorrow sometime and be just fine. That's why I've been using 80-20 burger meat primarily, and I thrive on it. I lose weight. I don't gain weight. I can eat as much of it as I want. I'm gaining health points. My respiratory system is working like it should. I can sleep without my CPAP now. I mean, it's just everything overall is great. I can go for mountain bike rides, and I can be like in pain because I'm out of shape. I'm not fit, but I can breathe. I'm not worried about a heart attack when I'm trying to exert myself a little bit. And I used to worry about my heart health when I was eating veggies, all the time. I was worried about my heart health. Not only that, I wasn't just eating veggies. I was also taking in sugar products, a lot of carbs at the same time. But when I would get on an elliptical, and that was one of my favorite exercise equipment because it didn't hurt my feet. I got bad feet. But I could run on that elliptical for like an hour. I could run on it for like 2 hours, no problem. But I was always having heart palpitations. And when you have a heart palpitation, it just flares up your anxiety because you don't know if that's a heart attack or what a heart attack feels like unless you've actually had a heart attack. So anytime your heart starts doing weird stuff, like skips a beat, it's just like somebody punched you in the gut, took your wind away. And then you're like just coughing and trying to get it to go again. And then it starts up. But I haven't had palpitations since I started the carnivore diet either. So it's kind of a win-win. If I were to add vegetables, the palpitations would start up within less than a week. All right, on there, Ifri. Yeah, I appreciate it if you could send me one. I think you're the one that said you were from Palestine or not Palestine, Pakistan. Maybe I'm right or wrong. I don't know. But somewhere over there. I would love one. I did talk about all the postcards I got. I got 2 from Vermont today, and I got 1 from Illinois. I got some beautiful gifts from Bill Knott for my cats. He's concerned about my cats because we're strapped for cash right now, and And it's just those little things that help out. And then Luke sent me a Bible, King James Version Bible. It's a nice leather bound book with nice gold leaf around the edges, and it's big enough text that an old fart like me can actually read it without using my glasses. So I appreciate that one so much. I mean, that was a great gift today. Got an air fryer last week. It's a use it. Use it. What kind of air fryer did you get? Air fryers are like gold, man. People are just in love with them. When I first bought an air fryer, I didn't know much about them, but when I got it, I was like everybody else, but I was using them for like French fries. Um, the main reason I got an air fryer was for like egg rolls and burritos. And I don't do that anymore. I use it now on a rare occasion. I can air fry burgers in there. I've tried it. It makes a nice crust on the outside. And I've done it from frozen. That video was fun to make. But yeah, I wanted to do that was just an experiment. Most of my cooking videos are experiments because I'm literally just flying by the seat of my pants. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just cooking in the kitchen, kind of like I do on the live streams. And we're just like, let's see what happens when I try this. And even done some like hard boiled egg, hack experiments, see how it worked out. That didn't work out too well. But as soon as I shut the camera off and I try the same thing, everything works out perfect. And I wish I was recording. It's just, that's how it goes. Let's see. It's the Emerald Degrassi one. I don't know how to use it. Well, you plug it in, you turn it on, set it to about 400 degrees and put something in there for at least 7 to 8 minutes for starters and see what happens. That's the easiest way to learn how to use an air fryer. There's so many ways to use an air fryer. Like mine over here, I got the Insta Vortex. That thing has a dehydration feature on it that I really want to try out. And I got some stuff here. I could try that out. Like if I wanted to make banana chips for the kids, I could probably do that. I might get in trouble though. I got to wait on that until we get some more money. But I do want to use the dehydrator. I want to maybe make some jerky in there. Some homemade beef jerky. Get some really thinly sliced steak, lay that on the racks and let it sit in there for 2 hours or however long it takes to make some decent jerky out of it. Put some nice Redmond salt, Himalayan pink salt on it. That sounds so good. YouTube, I'm so old. I learned so much on here. There is a lot to learn on YouTube. I mean, considering it's YouTube and Google are two of the same. I mean, they both run each other. So if you go to Google and you research something, you type in like, hey, how do I change my oil filter? They're going to recommend the YouTube video. And vice versa. If you try to, figure out something, you can type it into the search engine on YouTube and it's most likely going to give you a video. It very rarely, sends me to anything like super Google related. Vicky, hey Vicky, how you doing? I just noticed you in there. I was trying to get out of this live stream a minute ago, but you guys just keep me going. I mean, that's good for me. It's helpful. It helps my financial situation, that's for sure. I'm just going back through some pork rinds to replace the breadcrumbs. Yeah, Holly Hobby mentioned that. That is a fantastic. Like if you're gonna make chicken and you want to bread your chicken, yeah, get some pork rinds, any kind, any flavor pork rind, and just put them in your little bullet blender. Blend them up. Put some egg in a dish. Put your chicken in the egg, and then toss it in the pork rinds, and then fry it up with some good natural fat. Not this vegetable crap oil. Just stay away from that stuff. That's no good for you. So you ever eat seafood on Carnivore? Yes. My wife's an avid salmon fisherman or fisher lady. So she goes out and she catches all the fish and that's her thing. She's in love with killing fish. So we get a lot of salmon. We don't have a problem with mercury with the fish that come through here. 3 pounds from my 100-pound loss. Ooh, congratulations, Vicky. That's good news. And you're almost close to your anniversary on Carnivore. Amazing. Yeah, so I got to wait for my official anniversary for Carnivore. It's going to be next September. That's when I started fumbling around with the idea of Carnivore. And when I started Carnivore, I was not inclined to even want to do it, but I was out of options. I was losing options because I was trying all these different eating plans. I already knew that vegetarian didn't work for me. The vegan diet definitely didn't work for me. And so I tried keto, and then I was already kind of ketovore, as some of the viewers pointed out. Like, hey, everything you're telling us makes you kind of ketovore, and I wasn't super big on the labels. I was just super big on lifestyle change and trying to fix this up here and understand, you know, basic ingredients and stuff like that. Like actually flip stuff around, figure out what's doing what. You know, the artificial food colorings and stuff like that. It's just not good for me. Yeah, big salmon. Oh, shrimp. I wish I could have some shrimp. Yeah, I miss having shrimp. Vicky, I'm doing pretty good. We're going through some stuff. There's been a lot of stress in the house, so I've been horribly distracted. Like I mentioned before, I was all set up to do a video, an actual sit down video, because I don't post many of those anymore, because I'm just addicted to doing these live streams. And then you guys just, come in, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, whoa, I recognize you guys, and it's a lot of fun when I do that. But we're going to change something here. There we go. We're going to add Vicky to the moderators list, because I never know who's going to come in. I'll get Jill in here. Vicky, you come back quite a bit. There's a Shannon and Holly Hobbies. Just randomly. I don't expect people to just see me on here and just blindly watch. But I mean, if you're interested and you're coming back quite often, yeah, I like to have some moderation control in here to kind of like wean out some of the spamming. And because once in a while, especially if I'm not paying attention to the stream in here, why am I stuttering? Did I eat some sugar lately? No, I don't think so. Weird. I normally don't ever stutter, but it's probably because I'm getting a little bit mentally drained today, because it's just been a lot. The wife's Jeep broke down, transmission issues, and then while it was sitting there, it got a flat tire. I fixed it yesterday. That only took me like 5-10 minutes. That was nice. I mean, just the fact that I was physically able to do it, a year ago, I would have been next to impossible. I would have been like laying on the ground, just trying to bust open a lug nut, let alone jack it up. No, I appreciate you, Vicky. To me, the hardest part would be giving up nice, ice cold beer. Well, that's just one of those things. You're either gonna do it or you're not. And the only reason I gave it up is because alcohol's never done anything for me. It just created a lot of problems and usually wound me up in bed with people I shouldn't have been in bed with in the first place. So it's just part of growing up, I guess. But as you get older, I don't know how old you are. As you get older, I think I started weaning out a lot of the alcohol between my 30s and 40s, because I was still drinking a little bit through my 40s, but I wasn't drinking like I used to in my 30s, because I was partying all the time. I mean, it was like all the time. As soon as I get out of work, it was like straight into the alcohol, and then try to sober up real quick and go back to work. And that's a losing situation too, because if you're not mentally focused when you're going to work, then you got some problems. Hello, Jill. Thank you for jumping in there. Yeah, that happens, Jill. I was trying to bail out on the stream a little bit ago, but everybody keeps coming in now, which is cool with me. I mean, we could do this as long or as little as anybody wants to. It doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, as long as I'm feeling like I'm being somewhat interesting and we're talking about, relative, carnivore topics or whatever, I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, I went through a phase there, Putty Cat, where every night, and it became a habit. So every night I came home, I was drinking exactly 2 beers every single night. And then it felt like that was becoming a problem, because it was just such an addicting habit. So that's kind of around when I started weaning back, and I was getting out of it. But I wasn't getting drunk. I was just every night. I'd get out of work and it was automatically to the fridge to get a beer. If there wasn't beer, I'd be upset. And you shouldn't be upset when there's no beer. I mean, that's like being upset that there's no soda in the fridge. It's like, good. Perfect. Drink some water. I mean, I drink water and coffee now. Those are my 2 go-tos anymore. Water, coffee, and electrolytes. I'd rather not drink my calories. I don't like drinking calories either. I mean, especially when you're worried about weight loss. I mean, now when I was drinking and I was getting a lot of my calories through alcohol, I was horribly active back then, but the older you get, the less active you become. If you're getting your calories from drinks, then it's a counterproductive situation. You're starting to stack those calories back, and it's turning into body fat, and it's just horrible. Yeah, it's a good idea to take a break once in a while just to reset yourself. Anyways, let's see. True, Vicky. Like when the carb cravings go. That's another thing. So like beer, for me, the hops in the beer. I like the dark beers, like the really dark beers, like Guinness or Sam Adams. George Killian's was one of my favorites. I like warm beer. I'm that odd duckling. I won't drink like Anheuser Busch products warm because it tastes like piss anyways when it's cold. So yeah, I was always drinking the fancier type beers. Some people say they're fancier, but the darker beers. Something I also found out is that a great beer for beer batter is George Killian's. Really nice stout. Sam Adams worked pretty good too for making beer batter, halibut, and beer batter type fish. And I want to try that with beer batter, but make it try to make it like a carnivore type beer batter, because those heavier beers have a lot less sugar than some of the other type stuff that's out there. So it might work out pretty good. And a lot of that sugar will cook out in the process, but you got to make it in a natural type fat in order to make it work right. It looked like Louis C.K., but the non-famous version. I definitely look like the non-famous version. I will agree with that. I can't even read what your handle is. That doesn't even make sense. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Spell that in English. Let's see. Stall, pork rinds, cutting dairy would be the hardest, but I might try. Now I haven't cut out dairy. I did for a period of time because I was just strict carnivore for a period of time, about 30 days. I was 100% head over heels, not excited about it, but I wanted to do it to see what would happen when I started adding in back to dairy, or other certain specific ingredients, maybe some fruit once in a while. So one of my safe fruits that I like to snack on, and I'm not talking like sit down and eat a whole bucket full, but is blueberries. That works pretty good. Now, blueberries grow naturally here in Alaska, and they also don't spike the blood sugar. So they work out really well. They cure 100% of my sweet craving. So as long as if I'm starting to crave any sugars or carbs or stuff like that, I'll just have a handful of blueberries and everything goes away and it's just fine. No big deal. Let's see what else we got going on here. Cutting dairy. Yeah, cutting dairy is hard. Um, so the hardest thing for me to cut actually isn't a dairy product, but it was that damn flavored coffee creamer. You guys know what I'm talking about? That like the hazelnut, the French vanilla. They had like Irish cream and creme brulee. That stuff is a disaster in a bottle. I mean, it's full of sugar. It's full of soybean oil, full of other vegetable oils. Uh, it's crazy the amount of stuff that's in there. And I talked to my doctor about this, and they said the hardest thing to get people to quit, even harder than getting them to quit nicotine or alcohol, is that flavored creamer, because it is so incredibly addictive. There's so many sugars in there. And then we're usually putting on top of it more sugars. It just wrecks the whole day. It wrecks everything. John, have you tried butter bites? I have not yet. I have not yet, Vicky. That was something I wanted to get to at some point, but yeah, not yet. If you can't get over the cheese, uh, need picked cheeses that are natural and not shredded. Yeah, I don't do much of the shredded cheese because it's got that anti-caking stuff, like cornstarch and potato starch. They use both. Yeah, that French vanilla is delicious. The hazelnut was my thing. I fell in love with hazelnut coffee when I was living on the East Coast, and Dunkin' Donuts started bringing that to the table. They had hazelnut coffee, they had French vanilla, there was something else, besides the regular coffee, of course. But it was satisfying and hitting all the sensory freaking dopamine rush stuff that was just magical. And yeah, I was drinking a lot of those. I drink like 3 or 4 of those in a day. And up here in Alaska, we don't have a Dunkin' Donuts, but it seems like on every corner, it's raining outside. it seems like on every corner we have these little tiny coffee stands, and those are really popular up here. So in the morning, everybody's got their favorite coffee stand they go to because each one's unique. They don't all use the same beans, so sometimes the coffee beans will be different. And people still go to Starbucks up here. I don't know why. I've never understood people that go to Starbucks, because I've never had anything at a Starbucks taste good. Every time I've ordered, I've spent too much money on something I thought was going to be amazing, and it just never, never, ever. I mean, it's like even the coffee itself was just. I think they use like Arabica beans or something like that, but it's so acidic and it just doesn't taste right to me. It's kind of like a fine wine. If you get used to certain coffees, certain coffee beans, and theirs never ever hit my flavor profile just right. You might as well drink liquid plastic than those flavored not natural creamers. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Even the ones that are somewhat more dairy, because I tried those as well. They didn't work either. I mean, it was a process getting off of that stuff. But yeah, once I got rid of that, uh, everything starts to improve slowly. Kind of like when you start just to quit sodas, when you don't drink sugar, high fructose sugars anymore. Let's see. Everyone tells me eat raw cheese. I don't know. We don't have that. Well, I'm not sure what they're talking about. Cheese curds. I used to have access to cheese curds. Those are okay. But seriously, a cheese is just cheese curds pressed into a flat or a cube, and then they just slice it up. That's all that is. But what they're talking about is the not so processed cheese. If it's got vegetable oil, soybean oil, stuff like that in there, that's not a good cheese. That's a low quality cheese. Pink polar bear cappuccino. That must be an Alaskan drink. Natural cheeses have live cultures, bacteria. They are better for you. Yeah, they are. But sometimes in the process, it kills a lot of that live bacteria. But that's really not a bad thing. It's not a good thing, not a bad thing. Like I try to go for the white cheeses now, and like Swiss cheese, provolone cheese. Let's see, Havarti cheese. That's one of my favorites. The Swiss cheese from that California place. They make some really, really good pungent type Swiss cheese. I mean, I really enjoyed that stuff. It melts nice. Good melty type cheese. Okay, guys, I'm starting to get all boogered out here with stuff to talk about. Oh man, 2 hours. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. You keep me going. You keep me interesting. I'll stumble around the room first. I gotta pick up this bag and put it away. Oh, I almost stepped on a plate. Wouldn't that be fun? My legs all kinked up because I've been sitting at the table for way too long. Fun times. And I had to make the kids food, so got to pick up the plates for my dog. Oh, hey, check this guy out. You guys like this guy, right? Huh? One more time. There we go. Hey, I'm talking to you. You. Hey, look up. Who am I? That's right, I'm your dad. Yeah, have a good night. If I get lucky, I'm going to start working on that video. But yeah, it's a process. It's hard. I mean, you got to come up with a lot of talking points, and then you got to get them on camera, and then you got to take it all and put them all together and try to make it interesting somehow. I always struggle with that part. I've had a lot of videos lately that don't do well. That's why I started doing a lot of these live streams, because I was struggling at video creation in itself. Maybe I'm just not talking about the right stuff, or I'm just not that popular. It doesn't matter. I mean, when a video doesn't do well, I look at myself as the problem, because I've made some really good videos that do really well at times, but that means they met all the matrix, for people to actually want to watch it, people that actually want to share them, because if I make a video that sucks, I don't expect anybody to share it, or if it's not worth getting through the first 5 minutes. But I think the frustration comes from most people that create content and videos here on the internet is that they start out really kind of odd, like their introductions and stuff like that. And I'm trying to work on that too, to make it more relevant, to keep people around, because 9 times out of 10, sometimes the most important thing in a video is towards the end. But if I can't carry a person's interest to that important thing, they're never going to hear it. They're going to get somewhat through, and then they're just going to bail out and they'll be gone. And but hey, yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you for jumping in. Let's see, who is that? Elsinore D Los P2. Yeah, hey there. Yeah, subscribe if you come back or you like these random live streams. It's just real life here in Alaska. This is what's going on, and it's raining outside, so I gotta figure out what's getting wet outside, so I gotta take care of some stuff. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one, probably maybe tomorrow, who knows. I like to do these things. You have a great night, guys.